Hey guys.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, good morning.
How's everyone doing?
Yeah. Hey, we're back. Today we're gonna be checking out a story of Jeremy Kyle, an unfortunate young man who went through a terrible experience.
Yeah.
And then he was on some UK talk show where our sisters decided to trivialize his experiences. So let's check it.
I ripped all my back, all my legs, the lot, and I ended up in hospital, because she won't let me out of the house.
It's not funny though. Can I tell you why it's not funny? This was the other way around, and a woman was sat here, and a bloke had locked her in a flat, and she had to jump out and injured herself. You lot would not be laughing. You would be saying, he's a complete nightmare, he should be locked up, and that's disgraceful. But somehow, if it happens to a bloke, that's funny. That's not funny, is it? That isn't.
This is how society...
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's something I always say about these live talk shows. They actually depict just how humans have become mindless drones, because they just went from laughing to clapping like nothing happened.
As though somebody said a good thing.
They didn't even take a few seconds
to
of
process what they just been
introspection.
told. Yeah.
Maybe a moment of silence, try and empathize with this young man. They went immediately from oh, you said something nice.
Yeah, for those who didn't catch it, this Uchali, he was saying how he had this girl. The full interview, he says he had a girl and she was a bit psycho, so she locked him in the apartment and he couldn't get out, and she went away. So in order to get out, he went to the balcony and jumped. I think it was 2 or 3 stories.
3 stories.
Yeah. So he fell down. He broke his legs, and I think he had to crawl or something, calling for help. And finally, somebody reached him and took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so these women are laughing, and then the host stops that and tells them that it's unfortunate that they're doing that, because if it was a woman sitting there and telling her story, everyone would be calling for his head. But
it would be a national story.
But since it's a man, it's funny how he got in such a weird position, and it's his fault.
Yeah.
And that's a sad thing, and that's a sad reality for men. If a man ever finds himself in a position where he's been duped, lied to, cheated,
it's funny,
defrauded,
it's usually funny.
Have things stolen from him, have his rights taken away by a woman. It's either his fault, he's weak, it's funny.
And this actually plays a big part in why men keep their things to themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why men suffer in silence, because the one thing that goes through our mind, and because we see it ever since we are children, anytime a man is in a moment of weakness, collectively society ridicules and laughs and ostracizes.
Yeah.
So men, we are bred, and we are actually taught by what we see. If you're in a moment of weakness, or you're going through something that makes you feel vulnerable, the only way you can protect yourself is by keeping it to yourself.
Yeah. There's no point in telling anyone, because they don't care.
No.
They'll
No
make
one
fun
cares.
of you. They won't help.
Nobody cares. And there are 2 types of help that guys get. One is if you have a band of brothers you can trust. You can trust them with your secrets, and that is very rare, especially for men. That is the only time you can get genuine help. The other one is when people use your weakness as a way to better themselves. And that's what a lot of guys fall for, especially when it comes to telling your weaknesses to women. They will listen to you, but then they'll like, oh my God, I never thought this guy was like this. How can I use this to my advantage? Let's say a woman broke your heart and you're vulnerable. This woman, okay, he has money. How can I use this? I'll pretend to be everything this other woman wasn't. I'll use him for his money, and then I'll bounce. Because I can't be seen with a weak person.
And we've seen it.
We've seen
it, unfortunately. And it's so sad.
It's really sad.
I don't know. This one is exclusively for guys. Guys, if you have issues, if you're going through something, don't go through it alone. And number 2, very critical, find fellow brothers.
Don't go to women
that you can talk to.
Guys you can trust,
and talk to them about it, and they will help you find solutions.
And if you don't have guys you can trust, and I know a lot of guys don't don't prescribe to therapy. I would rather you go to therapy.
You'd rather go to therapy.
Pay someone to listen to you.
To listen to you, at least get the load off of your head. And in therapy works, and the solutions, you can find solutions, because the good thing about therapists help us see that we have resources inside of ourselves that we can use to solve our issues. And what they do is they open our eyes to look at problems in another light that we had not thought about, and show us our troubles are not as much as we have. So it's either find brothers that you can trust to help you. If there's not, go to therapy.
Or just there are guidance counselors who are
no. Guidance counselors are uniquely for academic and minor behavioral
if you are like in uni and things like that.
If you're an adult, you do not go to guidance.
It's just therapy.
Counselor. Guidance is different from counseling stroke therapy. That's very different. Go to a therapist, find a psychologist or a counseling psychologist, somebody who's well trained. Do not go to anyone who's a guidance counselor. That's uniquely for people who are trying to find their way in life with regards to academics, education, career, and vocation. That's not the same thing as what we are prescribing. So get a band of brothers or go to therapy.
And last but not least, I actually wanted to hear your opinion on something. I've actually been scouring the internet, especially social media spheres like Facebook, and you know there's a prevailing wind of I won't say just women, because some guys are also saying it, that they are saying that men are not as strong as they used to be. And by this they mean they usually look at how men are today and they try to compare us with how men were in the past. And the guys in the past, they only cherry pick the good things. You see, especially when ladies are talking about, there are no men we can marry anymore. Men are not like my dad. My grandfather was respected. When you entered my grandfather's house, you had to enter with the respect. Why can't men be like that today? And it's usually fascinating for me because they forget that their grandfathers were not dealing with modern women. Their grandfathers were actually presented with traditional women. You get?
And the whole of society was governed by conservative values.
Yes, and every man, if you reached a certain age, society itself was engineered to push you to the next step. Men would reach 19, your family itself has already pinpointed. Let's say if you are a guy, a lady, that's the one you're going to marry. I'm already talking to his father. Wewe si umemaliza shule. There's this other program that is there. Unaanza kazi hapo. You're starting work. You'll get married by 20. The girl is 18. By 21, you're already having kids. Your job is already paying. And back then, salary ya mtu moja, one person's salary was enough to cater for a family even of 5 kids, and still pay for the house, and everybody was comfortable. But today, we have to deal with modern women with modern sensibilities who expect us to still be traditional men, traditional values, while they maintain their modern sensibilities that change day after day. It is impossible. So when you say you wish men were the men they were before, it's impossible, because you are not the women
of yesterday.
Those men were getting. I think that's also part of why a lot of guys like him, our brother here, finds himself in a situation like that, because you might find that he's a docile boy, he's not violent, and he gets an aggressive woman. How is he supposed to protect himself? I can understand why they laughed. How can you be locked in a bathroom? You are a man.
It sounds ridiculous. But we are not thinking of him as a human being. We are thinking about this masculine and feminine. They have an archetype in their head. This is how a masculine guy should be. So being locked in an apartment is rubbish. So in their head, probably they're thinking, why didn't you just break the door? But his physique.
Why are you so weak?
But his physique doesn't allow that.
He wasn't raised.
Raised.
You might find that he's not that masculine archetype. There are a lot of guys out here who are feminine, but that doesn't mean they're not men.
They're still men. They just have a bit more docile traits. That's all.
And do you know, Kwanzaa, in today's world, in today's society, there's no space for men like that.
There isn't.
It's
sad.
But these men are bred and they are raised to be like that. Because even us tukiwa shule, you remember, bro, it's like, and I think it started with our generation, the millennials. There was this push to take boys from roughhousing, from being rambunctious, from fighting with each other, and try to make them more
docile,
more pliable. Try to make them more like the girls. And that's why you even see in education, what we were talking about. Education systems today are more geared towards the female brain than boys. You have to be more meek in order to continue with this program. We don't want you to be combative. If you are combative, you are violent. And that's why there's no space for men like that.
It's true.
But hey,
this is an important conversation. I think we'll continue it later on.
Yes, we will.
But like we just said, guys, if you have a problem, find a band of brothers, people you can talk to. Do not die alone. That's the one great weakness that we have as men. We keep quiet for too long. Find other men, and if there's no one like that in your life, find a therapist.
It will save your life.
Tackle the issues that are really burdening you.
Right. Okay,
so
that's us
from Chalo and Vic.
Peace out.
We're out.